Speak like the ultra-rich and watch everything change. Words are not mere sounds, they are forces. They shape your destiny, build your wealth, and open the doors of opportunity that no man can shut. You do not need a bank account full of zeros to speak like the wealthy. You need the consciousness of wealth, the vibration of certainty, and the mastery of the spoken word. Every word you utter plants a seed, and every seed bears fruit according to its kind. If you speak of lack, lack will multiply. If you speak of abundance, abundance will rush to greet you. Speak like the ultra-rich and watch everything change, for the spoken word is the first currency of the spiritual world. Before money appears in your hand, it must be declared in your mind and voiced into the atmosphere. Everything begins with a word. Just as the architect speaks of a building before it rises, and the gardener names the harvest before the seed is sown, so too must you call forth your wealth through the words you speak. There is no poverty in truth, only the illusion of it, and illusions are maintained by speech. The one who continually speaks of struggle binds themselves to the very thing they seek to escape, but the one who speaks of overflow and prosperity, even in the face of an empty purse, aligns themselves with divine substance, which cannot fail to deliver. The ultra-rich do not speak to describe their condition. They speak to command their creation. They understand that words are not used to report reality, but to shape it. They say, I am wealthy, even before the world agrees. They say, I attract opportunities, even when doors appear shut. Their word precedes the evidence because they know the word is the evidence. Speaking in faith is not fantasy. It is spiritual law in action. The moment you declare a thing with belief, you set divine forces in motion. You do not need to worry about the how. The how belongs to the infinite. Your task is to speak only what you wish to see, for what you see is born from what you speak. You must train your tongue to serve your highest good. Speak not of bills, but of blessings. Speak not of debt, but of divine provision. The more you speak of what you lack, the more you affirm its presence in your life. But if you will dare to declare abundance even in the valley, you will draw forth rivers in the desert. The ultra-rich speak with certainty, not because they have more money, but because they have more spiritual discipline. They do not allow idle words to fall from their lips. They do not joke about being broke, nor do they complain about their lot. They speak only what serves their vision, and so the universe echoes their speech with precision, multiplying the words into form. To speak like the ultra-rich, you must speak with authority. Declare what is yours, even if you have never known it in the material. Say, money flows to me now. Say, wealth surrounds me. Say, I am aligned with the vibration of unlimited prosperity. Repeat these affirmations not as wishful thoughts, but as spiritual decrees. Each word carries vibration. Each sentence is a seed. Each declaration is a doorway through which your blessings rush. Never underestimate the power of what leaves your lips. Speak only what you wish to live, and as your language changes, so will your life. For to speak like the ultra-rich is to activate the law of divine compensation, and that law never returns void. The ultra-rich do not speak from fear or uncertainty. They speak from a deep, unshakable inner knowing that what they desire already exists. They understand that language is not merely a means of communication, but a tool of creation. When they say, I am successful, they are not waiting for a condition to prove it. They are activating a spiritual blueprint that must manifest. They speak in alignment with the truth of abundance, not the illusion of limitation. They speak as if the unseen is already seen, for they understand that speech is the bridge between the invisible world of ideas and the visible world of matter. This unwavering faith in their words is not arrogance. It is alignment with spiritual law. They have no room for doubt in their vocabulary, because doubt weakens the current, and they only allow language that strengthens the flow of divine substance. To live in this level of speech is to walk in the authority of creation. You become the author of your experience, not a victim of circumstance. You do not speak what you see. You speak what you choose to see. Even when your outer world seems to contradict your declaration, you remain steadfast. You say, I am increasing, while others might see decrease. You say, doors are opening for me, even when some appear closed, because the ultra-rich understand this principle. The spoken word calls the invisible into visibility. It is the seed planted in the soil of consciousness, and every time you repeat that word with belief, you are watering the seed, pulling the harvest closer into your reality. This is why they do not indulge in small talk that entertains failure, hardship, or impossibility. They are selective with their speech because they are selective with their outcomes. Words are not tossed casually. They are crafted with precision. Every sentence is a structure. Every affirmation is a foundation. They speak from power, and so they receive in power. They bless their ideas, their projects, their investments, their interactions. They declare success over meetings before they happen. They affirm favor before they walk into a room. They plant the energy of victory long before results arrive, and so results cannot help but reflect their speech. When you begin to speak in this way, the shift begins inside of you. Your posture changes. Your confidence grows. Your energy rises to meet the vibration of what you're declaring. It's not about pretending to be something you're not. It's about revealing who you truly are beneath the layers of fear, doubt, and conditioning. The ultra-rich have mastered the art of using words to command, to create, and to align, and this power is not reserved for them alone. Anyone who chooses to speak from this place of spiritual certainty taps into the same divine reservoir. The key is to speak with intention, with belief, and with consistency. As the ultra-rich know, you don't wait to speak until it's real. You speak because it's real, and by your word it becomes flesh. The ultra-rich understand the vibration of their words and the frequency their voice carries. They do not speak with uncertainty or hesitation, because they know that each spoken word sends out a signal, a magnetic force that draws its match from the universe. They speak as if they are already in possession of what they desire, not because they are pretending, but because they know that reality begins in consciousness before it arrives in form. When they say, I am abundant, they are not hoping to be, they are claiming their truth. They align their speech with divine order, knowing that every declaration becomes a command to the unseen forces that shape their reality. This is not empty talk. It is sacred speech, powered by faith, vision, and inner certainty. The way you speak determines what you prepare yourself to receive. The ultra-rich do not prepare for delays, losses, or rejection in their words. They prepare for gains, favor, and overflow. Their speech is filled with expansion. They do not shrink themselves with phrases like I can't afford it, or I'm barely making it. Instead, they declare, there is always more where that came from, or money flows to me in ever-increasing amounts. They program their environment with expectation, knowing the law of attraction is always responding to their dominant vibration. Even in times of apparent lack, they never give their power away by voicing it. They speak life into every situation. They speak increase into every transaction. They speak overflow into every endeavor. Every conversation becomes a tool to magnify wealth. They do not allow others to bring their language down into fear or worry. If someone speaks of recession, they speak of expansion. If someone talks of hard times, they affirm divine supply. They are unwavering in their speech, and because of that, their reality must mirror their resolve. There is no double-mindedness. There is no wavering between faith and fear. They have trained their speech to follow their vision. Their mouths do not betray their desires, and so their lives do not betray their intentions. They are faithful to their word, and the universe is faithful in return. The power lies in your ability to declare the unseen as already seen, to speak from the mountaintop even if your feet are still climbing, to declare riches even if your hands are still empty, because it is not the outer condition that determines the result, it is the inner agreement, voiced through your words, that holds the true creative power. When you speak with conviction, you become a magnet for everything that matches that vibration. The ultra-rich speak like kings and queens, not because of pride, but because they recognize their divine inheritance. They do not plead for blessings, they proclaim them. They do not wait for signs, they create them through their language. This is the hidden key many overlook. While others focus on action alone, the ultra-rich know that speech is action, powerful, invisible, and unstoppable. They guard their tongues, they master their declarations, and the world must rise to meet their word. The ultra-rich do not only use speech to affirm wealth, they use it to protect their energetic field. They are acutely aware that every word carries vibration, and every vibration creates alignment, or with abundance. This is why they do not participate in conversations that drain, diminish, or distort their frequency. They refuse to entertain gossip, criticism, or negativity, not because they are arrogant, but because they understand the cost. Every word spoken in judgment lowers your vibration. Every complaint places you in the frequency of the problem, not the solution. The ultra-rich choose words that elevate, empower, and expand, because they know they are shaping their reality with every syllable they utter. Words are not casual, they are tools, and tools must be used with skill and intention. They surround themselves with others who speak the same language of abundance. They build their relationships on conversations of vision, purpose, creativity, and impact. They are not found discussing limitations. They are found declaring possibilities. This is not denial of reality, it is a declaration of higher truth. They do not waste their breath describing what is broken, they speak of what is being built. Even when they encounter setbacks, they describe them as lessons, not losses. Their words are always pointing forward, always lifting upward, always vibrating with expectation. This commitment to high vibration speech becomes a protective shield that keeps their momentum alive even in challenging circumstances. You will rarely, if ever, hear the ultra-rich speak about being stuck, unlucky, or desperate. These words simply do not exist in their vocabulary. If something doesn't work, they say, that's a stepping stone. If a plan falls apart, they say, that clears the path for something better. They use their language to stay in flow. To them, the energy they carry is their true wealth, and their words are the way they manage that wealth. Just as they would not throw money into the wind, they do not throw words into chaos. They are disciplined, deliberate, and focused in how they speak, because they know that words, once released, gather energy, shape experiences, and return multiplied. Their discipline with language also extends to how they speak about others. They bless success wherever they see it. They praise achievement, beauty, and abundance in others without jealousy, because they understand that celebration is a form of attraction. When you bless what you want, you invite it closer. When you resent it, you push it away, so they speak with admiration, gratitude, and generosity. Even when they correct or critique, their words are measured, constructive, and purposeful. They understand the law of return. What you send out through your words comes back pressed down, shaken together, and running over. To speak like the ultra-rich is not only to manifest wealth, it is to become a channel of wealth in every dimension, in mindset, relationships, opportunities, and energy. Every word either builds or breaks, lifts or limits. And the ultra-rich choose to build with every breath, knowing that language is legacy, vibration is currency, and speech is sacred power. The ultra-rich speak from identity, not desire. They do not speak of what they want. They speak from who they already are. There is a profound difference between saying, "I want to be wealthy," and declaring, "I am wealthy." One implies distance, the other affirms possession. This distinction is everything. When the ultra-rich speak, they are not reaching, they are revealing. They speak from their inner truth, not outer appearance. Even before their material world reflected luxury or riches, their inner world was saturated with the belief that wealth was their divine right. They spoke it, breathed it, walked in it, and acted on it as though it was already done. And because their identity aligned with abundance, abundance had no choice but to appear. This is the secret power of speech that most people overlook. When you speak from desire, you are often confirming the absence of what you want. But when you speak from identity, you are affirming the presence of the thing itself. The ultra-rich embody this effortlessly. They say, "I always attract opportunities," because they see themselves as the kind of person who does. They say, "Money flows to me easily," because they believe ease is their nature. Their words flow from who they have decided to be, not from the evidence around them. And because speech is a mirror of belief, every sentence they speak becomes a reflection of their self-concept. This is why changing your language changes your life. When you begin to speak from the place of already having, already being, already living in the truth of your wealth, you shift your vibration. You train your subconscious mind to recognize this identity as normal. And once the subconscious accepts something as true, it works tirelessly to make it real. This is not imagination. It is law. Just as the body responds to the mind's commands, so does the universe respond to the declarations of identity spoken with faith. The ultra-rich do not ask for permission to claim success. They speak it boldly, knowing that identity creates reality, not the other way around. Even in moments of challenge, they never speak from defeat. They say, "This is a temporary detour," or "Everything is unfolding perfectly." They remain rooted in the identity of success, even when the outer world is still catching up. Because of this, they never spiral into doubt or desperation. Their words act like anchors, keeping them grounded in abundance regardless of circumstance. They do not let external delays shake their internal truth. They speak wealth over every situation because wealth is who they are, not just what they have. To speak from identity is to walk in power. It is to become the source, not the seeker. And the ultra-rich understand that the fastest way to bring something into your life is to speak it as your reality now. Not later, not someday, now. Every I am, they declare, is a brushstroke painting the masterpiece of their life. They do not wait for proof. They create the proof with every word that flows from their mouth as creators, not reactors. The ultra-rich are masters of repetition, and they understand that consistency in speech is the key to transformation. They do not affirm wealth once and walk away. They repeat their declarations daily, hourly, moment by moment, until those words become their dominant vibration. They know the subconscious mind does not respond to logic. It responds to emotion, belief, and repetition. What is repeated becomes familiar, and what becomes familiar is accepted as truth. So they make declarations of wealth a lifestyle. They build rituals around speaking abundance. They infuse their routines with phrases like "I always win," "Money flows to me now," and "I live in overflow." These words are not casual. They are spiritual training, a daily practice of alignment with infinite supply. This repetition is not robotic. It is charged with feeling. Every time they speak, They feel the truth of their words as if it were already their experience. They do not just say, "I am rich," with empty lips. They say it with energy, with emotion, with full embodiment. They speak from their heart, their soul, their spirit, and in doing so, they activate the law of assumption. They assume the identity of wealth, and they speak from that place again and again until the outer world bends to the truth of their inner declaration. They know that repeated words shape belief, and belief shapes outcomes. So they guard their words not only from negativity, but also from inconsistency. When challenges arise, they do not alter their speech to match the problem. They do not say, "This isn't working," or "Nothing is happening." They say, "Everything is working for my highest good." They understand that to waver in speech is to delay the manifestation, so they stay committed. Even if the bank account dips, they declare, "I am rich." Even if the deal falls through, they say, "Something better is on the way." Their words remain fixed, unwavering, and true. Because they know the power lies not in what is seen, but in what is repeatedly spoken until seen. They stay the course with language, and that loyalty brings results. This level of mastery takes discipline. It means becoming highly aware of your inner dialogue and your outer conversations. The ultra-rich correct themselves instantly if they catch a limiting word slipping out. They immediately reverse it, replacing it with a statement of truth and abundance. They do not allow one careless phrase to undo the energy they've been building. Just like an athlete maintains physical discipline, they maintain verbal discipline. They understand that one negative word spoken in frustration can plant a seed of delay, and so they cultivate the habit of catching, correcting, and commanding their language, speaking the same powerful truth daily, even in the face of contradiction, is what causes reality to shift. Not dramatic effort, but daily repetition. Not bursts of inspiration, but quiet consistency. The ultra-rich know that wealth is created first in the repetition of belief, spoken until it becomes the atmosphere of the mind. Through repetition, they reprogram the self, and through the reprogrammed self, they recreate the world. Every word spoken again and again becomes law. Every law obeyed through speech becomes form.